It is Spotlight Sunday, and today I'm talking to Sade Fasanya. She's a Brooklyn native who wears many hats as a photographer, social worker, and professor. Sade, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Emma.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into photography.
I've actually always kind of been exposed to a camera growing up. My dad was one who always had a camera, so my siblings and I were always kind of like on the receiving end of posing for so many family portraits and family photos. 5 to 6 years ago, I bought a professional camera just to indulge like as a hobby because I was traveling a lot. And then I've decided, since then to take it to a more professional level, and I've kind of honed in on what I enjoy photographing.
And what is that to you?
My focus is mostly street photography, so capturing candid moments. And basically when I'm capturing stuff, like my main focus is always really just to kind of highlight community and culture.
What's the most powerful moment you've ever captured?
I might have a couple actually. Of course, like recent times has been extremely powerful for me to be able to go out and document the protests, document the voice of the people. But some of my more powerful captures as well includes like going back home to Nigeria and capturing my grandmothers who thankfully are still living and being able to like capture like home as well.
What is the significance of covering the Black Lives Matter moment been to you?
Whew. It felt like a duty. I felt like as a photographer, as a Black woman photographer, it was my duty to capture my people and allies as well, kind of fighting against racial injustice. For me, it's definitely something that has been extremely heavy. It's been a heavy burden to carry because there's a lot of emotions that come with it, but I do feel like it is my duty to tell our story. I'm going out and I'm looking to capture as many different sides of all of this as possible.
I noticed a lot of your photos are in black and white. Is there a reason for that?
So at the top of this year, like I had it was more like a project for myself, like to shoot in black and white as opposed to shooting in color. And I also find that shooting in black and white, for me, it kind of removes some of the extra distractions that may come with photos or with color. Black and white does give it a nostalgic and kind of a timeless feel as well.
Is there a particular photo, especially from the past couple months, that stands out to you that's your favorite?
I have a photo of a woman that I captured. It's a portrait shot of a Black woman. She has an afro. She has a Black power fist up in the air. And she just looks, she looks so powerful. She looks so resilient. She looks so calm as well. And the energy that I felt from her when I was capturing that photo, it reminds me every time I look at the photo of what I felt just kind of looking at her and the strength that she exuded, and also the pain that I felt was coming from her as well surrounding all of this.
Do you see an intersection between your photography, your work as a social worker, and your work as a professor at Columbia?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a social worker, I'm an essential worker. I run a men's shelter for older men experiencing homelessness. So that has been a whirlwind, just like with the global pandemic as well, doing lots of transitions and changes around that. The intersections that I'm seeing is basically kind of the people is the center of my work as a social worker, uplifting people, assisting people in need, highlighting marginalized communities. That's what I do in social work. And, when I teach in class, I'm teaching social welfare policy. And then of course, photography for me is again, highlighting community and culture, people of color, Black people, Black excellence, our pain that we're feeling right now as well. So it's really just a crossover of, kind of uplifting communities and uplifting marginalized individuals as well.
Thank you so much for joining me and sharing all the fantastic things you're working on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Emma.
And until next time, I'm Emma Barnett, and this is Next Gen News.